Hello. Ooh, how is everyone? Is anyone there yet? Come say hello, please. I'm just going to open the window. Hi, hey Sarah. Nice to see you. Hey, Mummy. It's so gorgeous today, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Hey, Rob. Okay. Let's go. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. You can eat that sock instead. Eat that little sock instead. Hello, Amy. Okay. So this morning we're going to do a little workout for our neck, shoulders and our back. I'm aware that a lot of people are now... Are you joining? Yeah. Oh, amazing. I thought you were on calls. Grab a mat. People now working from home are kind of, they're not really set up, they haven't got their proper desks, or things aren't at the right height. You're kind of just perching doing stuff. Also, just generally at the moment, the tension of what's going on can live in our shoulders. I'm still going to persist. I would like her to bring it up. Let's see how it goes. So trying to not let distractions bother us. So I just want you to just breathe. It's such a gorgeous day. It's a Monday. Sometimes we can just trip into the week. It's Monday. We can be a bit resentful. Hi, Doreen. But I want you to think, no, you're here. You're doing it on purpose. This is a gorgeous day. And just think, in years' time, we'll look back and just think, this crazy time. And if you've got kids at home, I can't imagine how tricky that is. She's massive now. She's like a proper dog. Okay? Yeah, when your kids aren't at home, you'll be like, oh, remember that time when they were there and it was just madness. But it's just enjoy that madness and just remember the time when everyone pulled together and you tried to see the positives. So let's just flip it and know that nothing is good and bad. It's just our reaction to it or our thoughts around it. So let's make this situation good, whatever you're dealing with at the moment. Good. Okay, so we're going to start with just a couple minutes of breath. So I'm going to time us. So generally, on average, people breathe between 12 and 20 times a minute. So in yoga, obviously, ideally, we'd be trying to lower that down so we're more aware, our breath will become longer. So what we're going to do is 2 minutes worth of breathing. So we're going to breathe for a minute and I would like you to count your breath. We're trying to make them as slow, as deep, all the way into the belly as possible. Then I'll tell you for the second minute and you're going to try and do even slower so you can beat the first minute. Okay, so coming into... Sorry? Treat for the dog. Okay. Kind of in the middle of something. There you go. The dog loves her bed, but mainly because we always put food in her bed, so that's why. Okay, so hello Danielle. So finding your comfortable seat. You can do this lying down, or you can be in a seated position. You're going to be there for 2 minutes, so whatever you can handle for 2 minutes. So let's get a little timer up. Use a cushion. Sorry, 1 second. Put this down here. Okay, so with your breath, taking a moment to settle yourself, whether you're lying, seated, however you are, grounding yourself and taking a few big deep breaths first. So often when we deep breath, we're like, and it's still just this little bit. So I want you to really, and slowly, you can't go to your full extremes we have to warm up and practice. So it's just keep breathing in, breathing out, expanding. Trying to breathe in and out through your nose. We slow and warm the breath. We're more controlled with our breath this way. So you can allow a natural pause, or you can hold, retain your breath after you've inhaled, before you exhale, and after the exhale before you inhale. But you, as always, you should never feel like you're gasping for breath. It should always be in a kind of comfortable, steady pace, but always finding your edge. Okay, so let's begin the first minute. Okay, so that was your first minute, and I should have said that a breath counts the inhale and the exhale count as 1. So just remembering that number and being aware if you were fidgeting, if your mind was wandering, that's okay. Just be aware of that. There's no judgment, that's fine. And then we just come back and we just keep trying to focus on your breath. So we're going to do the second minute now. So just, again, relaxing into that breath. And as I said before, eyes open or eyes closed, whichever you find kind of more grounding for you. And we're doing this as a way to try and relieve our tension. So your shoulders should just kind of fall away from your ears. When you start the breath, maybe you're frantic or thinking about something, someone sent an email, the kids are screaming, you're trying to do something. Just like your mum used to say, take 10 deep breaths. Who knew? She was a yogi master. It just calm down, and hopefully you can learn to respond rather than just reacting, which often is kind of more our ego or fear. Ignore that one. But when you're ready, taking an exhale, and we're going to start the second minute. That's the end of the second minute. Okay, so hopefully you saw a difference there, but just bear those numbers in your mind, because if you like to do that, that's just a nice, easy one to do. All you have to do is breathe really slowly, and you can just set your timer. Okay, so this session is actually requested by, hello Alison, thank you Amy, that had mentioned just kind of some back irritations. So this was what prompted this session, so we're just going to kind of loosen everything up. And if anyone needs it, it's definitely our key workers and our medical staff at the moment. So, coming to lie on your backs, please. Oh, and if you want to just stretch out, if you've got the space, just any old stretch out, doesn't matter. And then with your next exhale, I'd like you to bring your right knee into your chest. So as I mentioned before, if it's not coming all the way, you can grab a piece of material, even a sock, just extend your arms and hold it around your leg. You're holding that in, trying to keep the length of your spine on the floor, just hugging it in gently. Again, should be kind of, if we stretch too far, our hips lift up. We don't want that. We want to extend that a little way. But just come into wherever you feel that stretch. Then we're going to come into a variation of the Maltese cross. So that's placing your left hand to the outside of the right knee and rolling your knee over the body. So maybe, is this way better? Coming over this way. So you're wanting eventually your knee to come down to the floor, but what's more important is that your shoulder's down the floor. So we're trying to rotate the spine. If we just kind of roll over and we roll over with our shoulder, the spine's still in a line. So we want to get that shoulder back down. So your knee may be still kind of vertical. You're just placing your hand on there for some weight. Once you've gone as far as you can, extending your right arm out and then turning your head towards that hand, the right hand. And then just relax. So with every exhale, getting a little bit heavier, relaxing into that position. Your knee may come down lower, it may not. Either way, that's fine. But just gently rotating the spine and to release any tension. Good. As you come up from here, I'd like you to place your right ankle onto the left thigh. So this is known as a figure of four stretch or a keyhole stretch. I don't know which way is best to show you that. So your right ankle is on your left thigh. If this isn't available to you, you can just place the left foot down and that's your stretch. If you can come up, then placing your right hand between your legs and then you're holding your legs behind the left thigh. Gently bringing those in towards you. Protecting this knee by by flexing your right ankle. So flexing the right ankle helps to engage the muscles that protect the knee. You're gripping around your left and gently pulling in. So we're stretching here the outside of your right hip. Good. Releasing that. I'd like you to then cross those thighs over more. If you can, tuck in the toes round, but that's not important. And then once again, you're going to drop your knees down to the left side. This time, your shoulder might come up. That's okay. And then just relax into that pose. So again, if you've got space, both arms out. If you've got space for just one, then your right arm out, looking towards your right hand. Big inhale, and as you exhale, try and relax. Sometimes when we're still, we think we're relaxing and we're not. Actually, there's still some tension. Maybe you're still holding your feet, you're holding your shoulders, maybe there's frowns on your forehead. Just relax. And then you're going to come back in, unravel the legs, give them a little squeeze, and then extend back out. And again, if you've got space, stretching your arms. We're going to do the same on the other side. So left knee comes in with an exhale, hugging that into your chest. Swizzle. Obviously, I don't expect you to be doing this little breakdancing swizzle in between. Just trying to figure out which is the best way to show you what I'm doing, if my words aren't adequate. Good. And then taking your right hand, you're guiding that knee towards the right side, trying to keep both shoulders on the floor. Extending your left arm and taking your gaze towards your left hand. Ooh, so hopefully you get some nice clicks in these ones. Yeah, the spine loosening up a little. And being aware of your breath. We're in a restricted position here, but there's still room to breathe if we give it our attention. So try to come back to that slow, steady breath that we had before. When you're ready. Coming up, placing your left ankle on the right thigh. Again, you can place the right foot on the floor, and that can be your stretch today. If you want to come further, lifting up, your left hand now comes in between, and you're holding behind the right thigh. The left ankle is flexing, so often we say most joints flex and extend, but with the ankle it's plantar flex or dorsiflex, there's both flexing. But this one, we're dorsiflexing, so you're bringing your toes towards your knees. And then gently hugging that in. Trying to keep your spine long, and if you can, your chin towards your chest. Sometimes we kind of look up and we're really kind of making a crook in our neck. Good. From here, crossing the legs over as far as they want to go. Again, there's no ego here. There's no competition. There's no prizes. Just go into wherever you can. If you hook, then hook. Otherwise, no. Arms out, and the knees are coming down to the right side. Taking your gaze over towards the left. Big inhales here. Let your body just relax. So mentally just working your way through your body again. I keep just generally I'm frowning all the time. Shoulders can be tense. So just breathe in, exhale, relax wherever your body is. Just let gravity do the rest of the work. Inhale. Coming back up. So we're going to come to seated. So again, depending on how you feel, you can roll onto your side, gently push yourself up, or you can rock. If you're rocking, take your time. So this is massaging your spine, loosening that spine up. And it's quite fun. Just to, again, let's not rush through the fun stuff. Come into a seated position. So again, we're going to be here just a little while. So if you want to pop something back under your hips, then please do. To begin with, just gentle neck stretches. So actually, I am going to pop something under my hips. So if you've got a yoga brick or block, that's obviously super handy. If not, just anything. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just to get your hips slightly higher so you don't feel that you're rounding your back. So you can have a nice strong spine. Okay, so just gently lifting and lowering the chin. So when you're lowering, you're really trying to focus on the back of the neck and lengthen. Lifting the chin, feeling that stretch on the float. On your throat. Gently, all the time being aware to relax your shoulders away from the ears. Pausing in the centre and then just turning from side to side. So keeping your shoulders forward, it's just the neck that's turning, but you're really trying to see what's behind you. And again, it's quite nice just to involve your eyes in these stretches. So really look into the corner of your eyes. Good. Coming back to centre and then doing big circles. Just feel dramatic in this. If you've got your hair and it's all over your face, imagine you're just in some movie. As big as possible. Do a couple one way and then a couple the other. And again, be aware of your body. If your body's now just rounding in the lower spine, just trying to engage those core muscles, still sitting up straight. Pausing back in the centre. I'd like you to bring your right ear down towards your right shoulder. So we're now stretching out the left side of the neck. Okay. Reaching behind your back with your left arm, trying to grab hold of the inside of the right elbow. So we're just trying to extend that stretch. So your chin is kind of neutral at the moment, and now I would like you to take it down to your chin. So that stretch just transfers slightly further around to the back of the neck. Good, coming back up to the other side. So left ear to left shoulder, right arm reaching behind. Stretching out. And then taking your gaze down. Once again, checking in with your breath. Coming back up. Big inhale, reaching the arms up. Just wake those shoulders up. Really open them up. Exhaling as you need to. Inhaling, staying there. And then gently coming down to your right side. So whenever we're stretching, we're trying to create as much length, so it's that crescent stretch. But you're trying to dig in with this hip. We're not just kind of leaning over. We're to ground ourselves on the left side. Inhaling up. And to the other side. Inhaling up. From here, coming into your rotation, so you're placing your left hand on on the right thigh or to the outside, and then placing your right hand at the base of the spine on the floor. Inhaling up and exhale to turn around. So we're trying to avoid leaning backwards. The hand is more like a splint to kind of keep you upright. There shouldn't be any weight on the back hand. And again, involving your eyes, so looking as far as you can. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back up. So bending your right elbow, I'd like to place it behind and hold it with your left. So you can stay here. If you've got space, you can bring the left arm underneath and grip the hands. So you can, if you're close, you can always bring maybe the strap from your yoga mat and kind of bridge that gap. Holding on. If it's not available to you, just stay in this pose. So we're really opening up that shoulder. From there, big inhale. Yeah. And you're going to exhale, turn into the left side. Take an inhale and an exhale here. And then inhaling back to center. And exhaling to the right. Inhale and exhale. And then back to center. Big stretch. So if you're pushing walls away, this one, you should really feel this stretch. If you're really, two walls coming in on you, pushing them away. And then we're going to go to the other side. So left arm. So again, you'll find that you're different on both sides with this. So give it a try on both sides and just see where's working for you. Kind of squeezing your shoulder blade together, elbows back, inhaling up. And make sure you're not just belly coming round in the lower spine. Make sure that core is engaged. And with an exhale, turning to your right. Taking a breath in and out, and then inhaling to center, exhale to the left. After a breath in and out, inhaling to center. Once more, big stretch out, and if you want to, bring them up. Whoa. Okay, on to all fours, please. So it's the trusty old cat-cow. This is a brilliant one for just everything, just life in general. If in doubt, cat-cow. So knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. As always, grounded through the whole palms of the hands. Be aware of that grip. Trying to not just lock the elbows. They can be straight but not locked, so they're engaged. As you inhale, you're lengthening your spine, lifting your chest and chin forwards. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest, lifting up between the shoulder blades. Inhale. Tilting your pelvis forwards and allowing your stomach to fall towards the floor. Exhale, tucking your tailbone under, drawing your belly button up in towards your spine. Moving with your breath and just being mindful in this position, where it feels nice, where it feels it really is benefiting from that stretch. And just moving with your breath, so inhaling up as if we're moving like a cow, and exhale, stretching like a cat that's just waking up. Always with these ones, if you wish to just kind of move from side to side, sway around, then feel free. But you don't have to. From here, I'd like to extend your arms forwards and you're coming into a puppy pose. So like we did the other day, hips are high and you're aiming to get your chest to the floor. Again, it doesn't matter where you get to, just get to your stretch. To make this a little deeper, you can come up onto your fingertips and try and sink the chest lower than the shoulders. Be mindful of your breath. Gently lifting up And I'd like you to bring your right arm underneath the left. So again, another spine rotation. So we're trying to stack our shoulders on top of each other, but keep our hips square. So if I come this way, often, what will we do? I can't figure out the balance, but generally your hips will swing one way or another, so you're trying to keep your hips level and the shoulders twist. So again, another spine rotation. And you can just release the head to the floor. As you inhale, just lifting that arm and placing that down, and then you're going to go to the other way, so threading through to the other side. Try to square your hips. And then inhaling, reaching up, placing the hands down. From here, we're going to come forwards, down to the mat, so into a cobra pose, so like we did in our cleansing sequence. So you're going to have your legs close together. Come up part way. Exhale down. Push back into child pose. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to come back down. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale down. In. And exhale down. Staying with that breath sequence, or if you want to go further, inhaling up, coming straight into an up dog. So in this one, your legs can be further apart. And we're aiming for straight arms to really lift it up. So make sure you're not sinking into your shoulders. And pushing back into child pose. We're inhaling up. And exhaling back. When you're in child pose, you're really trying to lengthen your spine. You just check with no one saying, I can't hear you. Oh, hi Gemma. Okay. So keep going through those movements. This again is just really simple. I'm moving the back in different directions. Similar movement pattern to a cat-cow. Okay. So when you're back in your cobra or up dog, either one. So sometimes you'll feel this feels much nicer, much more opening, but your back might not be there, might not be ready. So you can stay in cobra. Cobra feels a bit more disciplined, having to keep the thighs squeezed together, releasing the bum. There's more going on in there. Whichever back bend you're coming into, I'd like you, again like we did in our cleansing, to look over your shoulder. You're trying to see as far around as you can. Inhale into center. Exhale to the other side. Back to center. Gently lowering yourself back down. I'd like you to engage your core muscles. So you push yourself up through tabletop, coming into down dog. So again, as I mentioned before, this is about lengthening the spine and trying to lift the hips towards the ceiling. So feel free to keep a bend in the knees and heels off the floor. If you want to walk in the dog or pedal in, you lift one heel and then the other, but you're keeping your toes on the floor. From this position, you can rock forwards into plank if you want to open up your shoulders. So sometimes if I'm cueing a down dog, we're just static, which you can be. Sometimes you can move around. Today's more whatever you want to do. From here, I'd like you to step forward with your right foot. So again, if you want, you can reach out, you can reach up, or just step forwards. And it takes as many steps as you need to come up into a high lunge. So grounding yourself down, do the obligatory pulling the pants up, tucking the t-shirt in. So your high lunge, feet are facing forwards, hips forwards, and to tuck your tailbone in slightly. Core engaged. Inhaling, arms up. Good, so you're really grounding down through this front heel. So you should almost be able to wiggle your front toes. We're going to come into a rotation. Go only as far as you can. You're going to place your left hand towards the right foot. Remember, there's no ego. If you're wobbling, that's good. It means you're trying. Your body's working with you. And you're reaching behind you. If you can try to take your gaze backwards onto that back hand. And say for 2, 1. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And gently lowering down. So we're coming down into a low lunge now. And we're going to lift up. Really lift up with the chest and taking your gaze backwards. So we're now trying to come into a crescent moon pose. So really trying to make a C with the back of your body. So just lifting up, grounding down through the front heel, engaging your core muscles and opening your chest. Good. Release your hands down. Gently step the foot back into a plank position and then lower yourself down to the mat. Before we do the other side, we're going to come through a shoulder opening. So I'd like you to extend your, which one's best to do this? Maybe extend your right arm out at shoulder height on the floor, and you're going to roll backwards and try and open up that shoulder joint. So your body goes just wherever it needs to go. So this is the equivalent of if you were to stand, have your arm on the wall, and then try and open up your shoulder. It's quite a nice one lying down. So again, this is a nice one if we're kind of hunched over a desk, you're trying to open the shoulder, open the chest. Good. From here, rolling forward, going to the other. Good. Coming back to center, hands under, lift it up, back into a down dog. So from here, left leg reaches up or just steps forward. It's your practice, so do just what you're happy to do. Grounding down, hips are forwards, lifting the arms up. Gently placing the right hand to the left leg and reaching behind you. If you can, taking your gaze back. Just do what you can. Be where you are, do what you can. There's no judgment, there's no comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. Back forwards, gently placing the hands down. Allow the knee to come down. You come into a low lunge. You might just have to adjust your feet. Inhaling, arms up. Really rounding the back, opening the chest. We're embracing, this is a really lovely, it's a moon salutation, or it's from the moon salutation. So we're really opening up to this day. Good, gently, hands down. Stepping back into a down dog. Lowering your knees down, you're going to come into a child pose. So just resting down, you're trying to get, so you can have your knees together or knees apart. Knees apart is quite nice for your lower back as well as your hips. Whichever one, you're trying to really round the back, hips towards your heels, lengthening the spine. Come into your breath. Staying in that position, but focusing on your breath. Slow and steady. You've got time. Really expanding your stomach into your thighs. And feel it pull away. How are we doing for time? Yeah. Good. From here, gently pushing yourself up to a seated position. Crossing your legs. You're going to come onto the back. So just rolling down. Bring your knees in, giving your knees a little hug, and then opening them out. This one's kind of for your hips, but I really like it if you try to focus on lengthening your spine. So you're holding your feet from the outside. This is happy baby pose, so channel your happy baby. You're trying to push down, having the ankles above the knees, pushing the knees towards the floor. But normally your hips will come up off the floor, so I want you to focus on trying to bring the hips back down and lengthen the spine along the floor. You want to, you can rock from side to side, or just stay as you are. Focusing on your breath. Breath should be slow and steady. So we're going to come into our second round of the minute breathing. So you can lie in your Shavasana, or you can come to a seated position. So if you're either position, if you're lying down, fidget for a bit, find your happy place, and then try to be still. And similar if you're seated. So just allow those movements to begin with, because if something's bugging you now, it's definitely going to bug you in 2 minutes time. Which is crazy that 2 minutes, but for time is money. We just haven't even got time for 2 minutes. Oof, I could be putting the kettle on. I haven't got time for this last little bit. Just stop. It's just going to be 2 minutes. Just focus. 2 minutes for yourself. It will change your attitude to the day. So, a few big breaths in and out, maybe out through the mouth if you feel that you need to get rid of things. And then we're going to repeat our 2 minute breathing. So I'll pause after the first minute and then we'll do it again. So if you can remember your numbers from last time, let's try and get even slower breath. We're making them steady, much deeper. Really focus when you're inhaling. Your attention is on inhaling. And when you exhale, your attention is on your exhale. Your whole body is involved in these breaths. So when you're ready, let's begin the first minute. That was the first minute. So while you're doing those breaths, hopefully you can just focus on the breath. But like I say, this mind, this little animal that we had from the other day, just wants to be busy. So just trying to breathe. Sometimes bring in your attention to your third eye, maybe seeing what colours you can see. Is there any movement? I found recently bringing my attention to the space between my ears, for some reason, really knocks me kind of into the present moment. But just trying to allow that breath. And remember, we're kind of doing in practice that it could be a tension releasing. So whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, just relax into that breath. We're allowing that to go. We don't want to hold any pressure. We don't want to hold any tension. Okay, so your second minute. When you're ready, let's breathe. Good, that was your second minute done. So just pause in, breathe in as you wish. So on this gorgeous Monday, Monday the 23rd of March 2020, you will never have this day again. So maybe set an intention. What are you going to do with this gorgeous Monday that you've been gifted? If you feel your tension rising and some stress creeping back in, try to breathe and try to respond rather than reacting. with your next breath. Stretching the arms, lifting up, big reach, lengthening the spine, palms together. Lowering the hands in front of the heart. Bowing your head. Namaste. We're done. Oh, I thought that was the little prisoner one I just escaped. Let me get the puppy out. I know most of you are here just for the puppy. Who's this? What's this? Oh, what's this? What's going on here? What's this? Oh. Hey, is Alda having a black puppy because you can't really see her? What's going on in here? Hey? Nothing. Nothing interesting. Oh, you're pretty chill. I hope you all enjoyed that. I would love to know how you got on with the breathing. If you can use that again, let me know. As always, send me little pictures. I really love this little yoga family. It's definitely helping me out having this little anchor and focus each day. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. And I will see you tomorrow. Ooh.